Hello. I can't thank you enough for doing this interview for me, and I wondered if you could just tell me a little bit your name and a bit about your kids.
Well, thank you for interviewing me. My name is Rasema Bakali and I have three children. I have two boys with disabilities. My oldest son Ayub has autism and a physical disability. He was born with much shorter and deformed leg. My little boy Adnan, he has severe autism. And Halima, who is in the middle, she's...
Brilliant. Okay, well, thank you for that, Razima. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about this lockdown we've all been going through. So can you tell me a little bit about what your life was like, especially, with your kids and services before lockdown?
Well, I had my life all revolved around my children and their needs.
Yeah.
Making sure that boys are safe and looked after was always my priority, and my daughter too. I had a very busy schedule. I would be dropping off someone to college, my little one to school. We had some after school activities for my youngest son. We had some lessons for my daughter who was studying for her GCSEs. And it put lots of physical strain on me, but then it came to a very abrupt end.
Well, that's something else. So would you say that before the lockdown then that you did have access to services and you had kind of a very busy life?
Yes, I was blessed, in fact, because my young son who, he's so hyper and he needs to be engaged in something, or he will be spending 24 hours on iPad and not sleeping all night. But we had music, had Saturday sounds, we had swimming on a Wednesdays.
Oh, wow.
We had short breaks on a Saturday. We had ventures to the park. He loves being on a swing. It calms him down.
Wow. So with that said then, what on earth has life been like for you and your kids in this lockdown?
I can tell you it was hard. Even with all my resilience and patience, and I'm at a certain age, I'm not a young woman anymore. It was so hard for my youngest son who doesn't understand. When he realized the playground was closed, ice cream van was no longer in water park, school gate was closed.
Wow.
Swimming had stopped. Swimming used to calm him down so much. Saturday sound stopped. It was tough. Really tough.
So can I ask you? Did you notice that this had a detrimental effect on your own emotional resilience and mental health?
It did.
Yeah.
I have to be honest and say it had put a lot of strain on me between my children and us all being in all the time, and my oldest son who suffers from anxiety and attachment disorder and very close.
Yeah.
But he had nowhere to go. I had nowhere to go. My little one is there all the time. He makes so much noises. I love him so much. But noises and then not sleeping. Then I stopped sleeping. He wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
It was tough.
So with that in mind, as you know, Manchester City Council have tried really hard to reach out to families and try to support them with activities both inside the house and outside. So have you got any examples where Manchester City Council have tried to support you with coping?
Oh yes, they did, and my goodness, I'm so grateful that someone thought of us still and remembered how difficult it was going to be for us. I received a couple of packs for both boys, and they were so helpful because...
What was in them?
Oh, for the little one, it had everything as if it was catered for his needs. So whoever was putting them together, they were so clever and so knowledgeable about children's needs. It had a fidgety toys that he loved. It had particular crayons that he used
saw that.
For his drawings. He draws a lot. It had some a Play-Doh on sand because he's so sensory. That helped him so much. And the pack then helped his sister have tools there because he loves working with her. He loves her being next to him. So she was able to take part and do some drawing and stuff from the pack. So that
was from 4CT. So Manchester teamed up with them.
Yes.
And were the bags delivered to your house?
Oh, they were delivered to me, by hand. I felt so privileged that, somebody came to my door.
And did those packs allow you to have family activities then?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
brilliant.
There was some questions there. There was something was connecting dots.
Yeah.
So it was giving like a therapy
And
for
what
me
else?
as well.
Anything else that Manchester?
Well, it's
did.
interesting you should ask that, because person who came to deliver one of the packs,
Yeah.
it was so lovely, and I happened to mention to her my worry for my oldest son,
Yeah.
who already had no social life, but
Yeah.
he had the gym and he had college,
Yeah.
and he was able to go out without fearing that he'll become ill, and all of a sudden he was going nowhere. He was in his room 24 hours and speaking only to me.
Wow.
And I just happened to mention to her in my desperation and hope that she provide me some help. I said, I'm more worried now about my older son. With the younger one, I will do this activity.
How old is the older one?
19.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so he would have been 18 when we saw
Yeah.
him. He's only just 19 now. And then she, like an angel, she said, well, I do some online. Would he get online? I said, I'm not sure that he would, but can we try? And then after we tried first together, she taught him, he has one interest, and that's how to be watching the pictures he has taken on camera and try to put them together. But he had no knowledge how it's done. So he'd virtually just going looking at the pictures. And then she so kindly provided these sessions, weekly sessions,
Wow,
with him, where he even was able to go on Zoom himself. Originally it was with me and he wouldn't really speak, and then he was getting on himself and being able to understand instruction when she told him, I will come on at this time, you can join me. And number of sessions he was able to put a movie together. And I have to tell you the poignance of this, as well as giving him something to do and my poor brain rest of not worrying that something will happen to him. He's alone all the time. He's on PlayStation and talking to himself. For any parent, this is just worry. It worried me. And then what he did is something that is amazing, and I wouldn't allow anyone else to do. He wanted to interview me and make a movie about my journey from Bosnia, where I come from, and my journey to England, and I allowed him to do that. That's a special privilege. Wow. Although memories of it are still, raw for me, but he has actually made a little documentary.
Very distracting for him now, like a really good project.
Yes, something for him to do, and something for me to save my sanity, because I worried what will happen to this boy who's not interacting with anyone but me.
So a knock-on effect was then it helped you with your emotional resilience.
Oh, it helped me so much. I really am grateful for this.
And I hear that also Manchester reached out to you and you spoke at the Senko network meeting via Google Meets.
Yes, I was so happy to do that, because if I can share my story, it kind of lightens my load already, and if it may help somebody, then
So do you think that without because obviously you must have helped co-produce that meeting, in the fact that you added your bit as well, so did you have phone conversations with Manchester about this meeting and how you would do your bit with it? So did you stay connected with the council?
Oh yes, and
brilliant.
They helped me from a week before, because I'm not very good with technology, and I would have struggled to do this bit myself. Okay. So we had a trial run, I had phone call, I had guidance on the phone on Friday, a few days before, then I had an extra guidance on Monday, because I still couldn't get on.
So do you think are there any positives about this lockdown for you as a family?
I'll tell you the positives, and I like looking at the positives. My children were under so much strain with their education. One was doing their A-level, one was doing their GCSEs. And we want them to do well. All parents do. Yeah. But I know that I saw my children under strain. It became too much. The lessons, the continuous lessons, the continuous testing at school, continuous worry. And then that stopped. And you know something? I saw my daughter, who was really struggling. And when the lockdown began, I saw my child started sleeping again. Yeah. She started eating. I had to go to the doctor before to say she's not eating, she's not sleeping, something will happen to her. She started eating, she started sleeping, she started speaking to me calmly, she stopped crying. It really...
One thing I noticed when I interviewed your daughter, she said that the lockdown, because as you said, your daughter doesn't have disabilities in the same way that your son with autism, she said that it's the lockdown has given her a chance to get to know her brothers more because of some of the activities that the city council had supplied.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
she was finally in a calm state of mind. She was always agitated,
Yeah.
always worried, always slightly even lashing out because strain was too much for her two autistic brothers,
Yeah.
mother with failing health, father at work most of the time. I think gave her enough time and space
Yeah.
to see her brothers. And when she saw them relax, like she mentioned in particular when Abe was doing his activities with Katie, he was most relaxed. He was doing something finally that he wants to do, that he enjoys, and he was getting help with it.
Yeah.
And the little one, when he sat there so engrossed in his drawing and putting those, joining the dots. So it helped us so much.
Rosima, I want to thank you so much for giving me your time today, and I'm really glad that that the lockdown hasn't been all difficulties for you, and I'm glad that Manchester City Council were able to help in some way. So thank you, Rosima.
Thank you.